the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
Hell yeah. High
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to another Sunday Night Football recap with your boys. We're breaking down the wildcard game between the Patriots and the Chargers. Patriots getting the dub tonight in a low-scoring game. 16-3 was the final score. But anyway, I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I am Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other co-host, Junebug Spade.
Gentlemen, we had a nice slate of games today. This one was a bit boring, I'm not going to lie. Not much going on here, but I was highly entertained the whole time, personally. But in comparison to the other two games, this one was obviously not as exciting. But like I mentioned before, the final score was 16-3 New England. And, Drake May finished the game with 268 yards, a touchdown, a pick, and at least one fumble. Felt like he was on the verge of turning the ball over every 3 plays, but we'll get to that in just a second. So Patriots get the dub. Drake May gets his first playoff win, and I figured we'd start there. Malin, what did you think of the way that Drake May performed in his first playoff appearance?
I thought he performed a hell of a lot better than Justin Herbert ever has in any of his performances. No, I mean, I thought it was fine. I don't think that, he was his box score necessarily like the best you've seen, no. But it didn't look like the stage was too big for him. Or maybe if he had a little bit of jitters, like the first couple drives, like he settled down. I would have liked to have seen him run the ball a little bit more because they had the run game going.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots did. I think they were throwing it with the way their defense was playing tonight. They could have got this game over like 40 minutes ago if they just ran the ball more and would have won the game. But no, I thought he played fine. Stage wasn't too big, and that's what you want to see out of a rookie quarterback. You want to win the game. You want them to play well. You don't want to have to put them in a position where they have to go out and win it in the fourth quarter. And you just want to see the stage isn't too big, and he checked all those boxes.
Yeah, I agree. I thought he there were some points where I was like, what are you doing here? But for the most part, he settled down after the first few minutes, and I think it's. I'm sure obviously not playing. It's easy to say just do the same thing you always do. But I'm sure going out there, it's like, oh shit, this is kind of it. If we mess around, we're staying home until September. So I'm sure it's like, all right, once I get over that kind of fear, let me go out here and do my thing that I usually do. And then you could see the difference of how he was moving the ball down the field. Even though the Chargers defense was still giving us a hard time, eventually we were able to find the end zone. But let's switch gears over to L.A. Justin Herbert, 159 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have a fumble, though. June, what did you think about the way Justin Herbert played?
It's Malin hit it. He just isn't comfortable in the playoffs. We've seen him twice in the playoffs now, and he's looked this way both times. And John Harbaugh, this offseason is going to have to take a long look at Justin Herbert and probably sit down, talk with the kid, and say, "Hey, I expect us to be in the playoffs every year that I'm coaching here, and you as my quarterback. So we got to figure out what we need to do to get you to feel comfortable while you're in the playoffs, because he missed a lot of players. He missed a lot of plays. I know the code probably had a lot to do with it because they all were dropping balls. The balls were selling on them a few times. I don't know if you guys saw Tom Brady in the game before. He was describing how you're supposed to throw the ball when the ball is in the wind. I know the wind wasn't blowing that much, but it was blowing a little bit in the wind. I started seeing like stuff flying around, and Justin Herbert just didn't seem comfortable the entire game, and that's something that they're going to have to work with him. And I know it wasn't a home game, you on the road, but hey, he got to understand you're going to have to play on the road in the playoffs. Unless you're the number one seed, you better get comfortable on the road. I mean, hell, even Josh Allen had to find it out. He had to find. He was 0-5, and he finally pulled one out. And Justin Herbert's going to have to do it again. He got to figure out what's wrong with him when he gets on the road in the playoffs, and that's something that Harbaugh's got all offseason to really get to. Is it running the ball more? Is it doing quicker passes? Not trying to let the passes develop. Doing quick passes, running more screen, doing something to get this guy comfortable. Because we look at this guy as a guy who has a big arm and he can put the ball down the field, and to only have 159 yards, and your counterparts in second year in the league have 268 yards. You're supposed to have those numbers if you're Justin Herbert at this point in your career. So I think that, a lot falls on him because, hey, this was his time. You're going up against a second-year quarterback. This was your time to come out and shine. If you're Justin Herbert, he just didn't do it.
I will say this, Jalen, he didn't have any damn help. That offensive line was like a damn strainer, man. Like, they were letting the defenders through like every chance they got. I think he was sacked 6 times. And outside of him running the ball, they had 12 carries for 10 yards. Outside of him running the ball, like, they had absolutely no running game. Like, part of me in the first half, I was wondering why, like, when they were getting close to the end zone, why Justin was just running it the whole time. And as the game progressed, I was like, oh, because nobody else can run the ball. That's wild. So he didn't have any help, and the coaching staff couldn't help him at all either. They couldn't make any adjustments the whole game to try to get that defense off his back. So
yeah, he was, at least the first half, it seemed like he was able to kind of evade the defense for a bit, at least the pass rush, and he was like breaking out the pocket and using his legs a bunch. That second half, I fully thought that the Chargers were going to make some sort of adjustment, and I was waiting for like something to change, but nothing really happened. And then the Patriots defense just started to get through, and they were mauling him. Like, he was really starting to get beat up in the fourth quarter, especially. The injured hand looked fine. Like, they didn't look like he was physically uncomfortable. So I don't know what the issue is with him in the playoffs. I will say none of the receivers, it was just like, I think one of the broadcasters even said it, like, you kind of forgot that they were even out there. Like, there's just no one was catching the ball at all, which is just a damn shame because they have a pretty good receiving core. So, I don't know, another disappointing year for the Chargers. Not even the fact that they lost, but just in the style that they went out was like, wow, that all of that for this. So, yeah, I don't know where they go from here.
No, you were loving it.
Yeah, ain't my problem. So we got a new problem after tomorrow night. So the other game that was on just before this one, though, the Eagles and Niners. Let me switch gears to that because that was very drama-full.
Oh, gosh.
Final score was 23-19. Niners getting the win on the road. Man, I've got to give the Niners so much credit for pulling this one out, especially the coaching staff and everything for just, I mean, chess against checkers in this one. So Yeah, Brock Purdy gets the job done. He had 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. On the other side, though, funny enough, Jalen Hurts 168 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers. Very Jalen Hurts game, but results in a loss.
Yeah.
Malin, what did you think of this game overall?
I thought that both teams were playing ugly. I didn't even see Kittle get hurt. And when I saw Kittle, when I came back, I was like doing something in the kitchen. I came back and all of a sudden they were talking about him being hurt. I was like, well, damn, they're probably going to lose now. Like Philly kept finding ways to stall drives on offense. Like they shot themselves in the foot over and over again. And this game really comes down to, I mean, yes, Brock Purdy had 262 yards passing, but he had two like big chunk plays. I think one was 56 yards that got the Niners way down the field super fast, and I think there was like another 40-yarder or something like that. Like you got like 90 yards in 2 plays. So like his game was pretty mid too. Bad decision making, throwing the interceptions. You know, the one thing that the Eagles couldn't do that Seattle was able to do last week was we were able to contain Christian McCaffrey. And the Eagles were not able to do that. I mean, it's not like the sexiest stat line you'll ever see, but, you know, he ran 15 times for 48 yards, still under 4 yards in average, but he also caught 6 balls for 66 yards. So he still got over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in the game. If the Eagles were just able to contain Christian McCaffrey, they probably win this game. So it just both teams did not look good. And half, like you guys saw it in the Discord, like I was having a lot of mixed feelings myself on the game because I hate both teams so much. But I was like, if I'm gonna have to play a division opponent, why would I want to play the Rams over the Niners next week? Like, what reason would you want to do that? Because the Seattle and the Rams, the Rams gained 1 more yard than us through 2 games, and I think Seattle scored 1 more point than the Rams in 2 games. Like they were so dead even, and our defense was having trouble with that offense. I mean, we've played the Niners twice, and they've scored a total of 20 points in 2 games. So, like, I like the matchup against the Niners better. Not saying it's a guaranteed win. Any Niners fans are going to pop off their boyfriend and attack me and be mad at me or something. But they're just so beat up. Trent Williams did not look that impressive to me tonight, even though it was out on the field. Ricky Pearsall, he still wasn't playing because of his ankle. He might play next week, but you're not going to have George Kittle. So I don't know. It was just an ugly football game to me.
June, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I want to first. I want to give Robert Salah. What he did defensively was he did the bend but don't break attitude in that game. He said, if we keep this game close, we can pull it out. If we keep this game close, we can pull it out. And they did the thing that Philly usually does to win games. They let Philly make the mistakes. Now, granted, there's a problem. Okay, and it came to it. We've been saying this all season long. Something is wrong with the Eagles locker room. Yep. And it came to a head tonight. A.J. Brown said, fuck it, I'm done. He quit on the field. A.J. Brown quit. You think he dropped that pass? Man, A.J. Brown was like, fuck this shit, I'm done. He didn't want to catch that pass. A.J. Brown was done, cuz. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get uglier too. This offseason is going to be ugly. But I want to go back to I want to talk about the game for just a second. The one thing I thought about this stat, and Malin kind of brought it up. So the Niners At some point in the game, one of the announcers announced that the Niners were only at 2.2 yards per carry, and they ended the game at 4.1 yards a carry. I thought that was significant in keeping control of the game. And I was telling my wife, of course, she wasn't listening to me. She just looking at her laptop because I had nobody else to talk to. I said, whoever continues to run the ball effectively in this game is going to control and win this game. And of course, she just stared at me. But it was true. That's who did it. As we saw, what do these teams do? They get away from the run. And the Eagles offensive coordinator has been notorious all year. He did it in the Dallas game. He did it in the Bears game. He did it in so many games that he just decided to get away from the run. And you put all that pressure on Jalen Hurts at the end of the game. Jalen Hurts was the 20 of 35, I think he was. So what's that, about a 79%, right? Something like that. So here's the deal. When it came down to it, right? When it came down to it, Jalen Hurts couldn't make the two passes that would win him the game. He couldn't get the ball into the end zone when it counted the most. Okay? So this team, the Eagles have a problem, and I thought Robert Salah, who's going to get a job next year, this man's going to, whenever the season ends for the 49ers next week, which it probably will, or should, the man's getting a job. He's getting a job for what he did this season by helping get the 49ers this far into the season because of his defense. So he'll get a job, at the end of the season. But he did a great job tonight and a great job by that staff keeping the team. Even when Purdy, my God, when you remember I wrote in there, like, why did Purdy just throw that ball?
Yeah.
Why did he? And then they showed that there was somebody wide open. I'm like, what is Purdy doing? Which, that's good for Seattle, that he make those mistakes against y'all again, and you're going to win again.
Forget about it, yeah.
And forget about it, But the Eagles, for some reason, this team was discombobulated. There was no umph in this team. There was no, oh, look at us, we're going to take control and win this game. They just didn't have that in them tonight. And everything we talked about all season with this team came to a head tonight, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that first Brock Purdy interception, I don't really remember the second one, but the first one was really bad. But if I remember correctly, like the Eagles, I don't think they fully cashed in. Like they may have turned it into 3 points, but that was at best. Yeah, their offense is just like the story that we've been telling the whole year. Like they are just so stagnant on offense. It's like, what are you guys doing? I really feel like they should have, of course, tanked Bigsby, still not getting enough touches the whole year. Same thing. But I really thought they should have used Goddard more because anytime he touched the ball, it was like big play. And then they went away from him for a while, and then he bailed them out late in the game on that fourth down after A.J. Brown dropped the ball. And A.J. Brown, he was getting touches in the first half. And then I know Tom Brady and them were talking about how, once he dropped the ball, you're like, he's been cold, so you can't really expect him to catch that. I'm like, Tom Brady, if you were his quarterback and he just did that, you'd be screaming your head off at him as soon as you got back to the bench. What are you talking about? He's like, you're a professional wide receiver. It wasn't like he was stone cold. He didn't touch the ball the whole game. He had a few touches. Like he was doing his thing in the first half, and the ball was right to him. Like that was fully his fault. And it was just so ironic how the whole balance of the Eagles the whole year was A.J. Brown doesn't play well, the Eagles win. He does play well, they lose. Well, now it's balanced out because he didn't play well and they lost. So
I wonder if he's going to take the same flat that a certain wide receiver from a certain team in that division took after he dropped a couple of balls. I wonder if he's going to take that same flat. Because my God, the world was fucking ending when a certain wide receiver from a certain team with a star on their helmet dropped the ball. But no, it was just the theater was nice seeing them completely implode. As a Cowboys fan, I love to see the implosion and seeing Nick Sirianni, and we're probably seeing what actually happens in the locker room between Nick Sirianni and AJ Brown. We finally saw that on, and you could tell Nick Sirianni was like, "I'm done with this guy," and I'm pretty sure Nick Sirianni's like, "It's either me or him. I'm not coming back next year if this dude is going to be on our team." They're getting rid of AJ Brown's not going to be there, and I don't even know if Barkley's going to be there. I don't know if they're going to have an offensive coordinator. The Eagles team is not going to look the same next year. Some of the defensive guys will probably come back, those that want to come back, but they may not want to deal with the drama that's going on offense, so they may not come back. But you're going to see a lot of changes to this Eagles team just because of what happened all season. And it led up, every single thing that happened all season long led up to the complete meltdown of this team in this playoff game.
Don't tell Eagles fans that, because they firmly believe, they're in the comments talking about how it's really just Kevin Petula. Like, okay, he was the poison. We'll get rid of him and we'll be right back next year. I'm like, I think more wholesale changes are coming outside of just him. Because even in this game, was he calling the defense? Because how did that happen? Was he getting into it with AJ Brown on the sideline? Because it didn't look like him. Yeah,
that was a beautiful pass by Jennings, though. Man, what do you think about that?
That was hilarious. Yeah, I thought that was funny. I mean, I will say this though: I don't think that the Eagles defense played that bad. It was a series of series of a couple plays on two drives that really kind of made the difference for the Niners. It's not like they were constantly threatening to score the entire game, and the Eagles defense is having to come up with a huge stop. And the crazy thing about the Niners is it's not like San Francisco's defense did a whole lot either. To me, it was more self-inflicted wounds. I mean, they had 7 penalties at the worst possible time in that game. They never forced the 49ers defense never forced a turnover. It was just the Eagles 4.6 yard or 4.7 yards per pass attempt that Hurts had. Like, he wasn't pushing the ball down the field. He wasn't trying to push the ball down the field. And hey, we said that the Eagles needed to run the game to beat the Niners, right? They did run Barkley 26 times, I think. So I think that there was, we're giving the Niners a lot of praise and we're shitting all over the Eagles, yet there was a spot in the fourth quarter where everyone was still thinking Eagles could win this game. You know what I mean? Like, it was for a while there, it was like we didn't and you hate to say it, does either team want to win this game? Of course they want to win this game. They're not going out there and beating the hell out of each other because they want to lose. But does someone want to play like they want to win the game? Because even you would put out there, Jalen, 49ers need to stop messing around because AJ Brown and Sirianni getting into it. They're about to go into another gear. So it was just, I don't know. I wasn't really that impressed with either side of the ball for either team, maybe except for the way that Purdy was able to get a couple different receivers going in the game. Getting DeMarcus Robinson involved in the game. I didn't see that against Seattle. I mean, he had 6 catches for 100-something yards.
Yeah.
So he had a good game. Outside of that, I mean, your running back was your leading receiver outside of that guy. So,
and to bring it to context for what the Niners did to the Eagles, going back to the running game, Saquon Barkley had 71 yards in the first half. So I don't know how many, it doesn't say how many carries he had in the first half, but he had He had 71 rushing yards. And in the second half, that means in the second half, he had 34 yards in the second half. So that's either one or two things. They stopped running him, or the Niners, started paying more attention to him. So it could be a combination of both too. So
They only ran the ball for 75 yards, and 24 of that was Brock Purdy, which is breaking the pocket, right? You're trying to get out from getting a sack. So going forward in the playoffs, like, is Purdy gonna be able to sling it all over the field and get a win? I mean, they threw the ball to 3 other different tight ends after Kittle went down, and they completed one pass for 14 yards to tight ends the rest of the game. So are you going to tire McCaffrey out because you're going to overuse him in a game? So, like, they seem like they're going to be very one-dimensional going forward, and they can't really afford to be one-dimensional.
And I would have thought that the 49ers tonight would have used Brian Robinson, a little bit more tonight against the Eagles, because he's used to playing against the Eagles. For those few years he was in Washington, he had to play the Eagles 2 times a year. And he had some pretty decent. Yeah, he had a couple of runs. There was a couple of times that he played a couple of times.
He didn't run the ball.
Yeah, he was in the game. What I'm saying is he was in the game because I saw McCaffrey sitting on the sideline, but I don't know if he actually touched the ball any, did he?
No, because he never even had a target. I didn't try to throw it to him. He didn't run the ball. It was McCaffrey and Sky Moore, whoever the hell Sky Moore is.
Yeah, and see, that's crazy because I saw Robinson in the game. He just didn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
And so I was confused about that. You got a guy who knows this team. So you think they would have used him a little bit more in the running game. But, it doesn't matter now. They beat him. I mean, they beat him. That's what it came down to.
Without Kittle, I think they're gonna have to get very creative. Like they're
very creative.
Shanahan's gonna have to go deep in the playbook to conjure up something for next week. So
DeMarcus Robinson isn't going 6 catches for 111 yards. Touchdown against Seattle's defense.
No, I don't think so. I think what they're going to have to, like you said, they're going to have to go 2 backs. They probably have to run 2 backs. They probably going to have to run double tights all the time. Number one, to slow down Seattle. And then they're going to have to run a lot of short crossing routes, so Purdy don't have to try to push the ball down the field. Because the longer he holds the ball, as we saw tonight, the longer he throws the ball, he makes bad decisions when he has to hold the ball too long.
Yeah.
And so that's something that he's not going to be able to afford to do against Seattle like he did against the Eagles. And both times that he threw those interceptions, it's because he held the ball too long.
True. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this round of games here. We've got one more coming up tomorrow. So we'll be back here about the same time to recap the Texans and Steelers. And then that will end the wild card round, and we'll all see where the kind of chips fall going forward. So, all right. That will do it. Be sure to follow us on social media at AFR Sports. It's in the link. The link's in the description below. And then June's TikTok is also in the link or in the description below. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night to recap the last game. So everyone have a good Monday, and we will see you in about 24 hours. Peace out.